Okay, welcome to this first episode in this long series of episodes I plan to make, where we're going to be building our own customized NixOS operating system installation with a pure terminal user interface as the main experience. So my plan is that I'm going to do everything live and record it without editing it down. So if you're one of those TikTokers or Instagram Reels types who wants everything to be done in a minute, this is not the place for you. If you're an old school, let's have all the details, let's see all the mistakes, and if that's your preferred approach, then this is the right place for you, because I'm going to be doing everything absolutely live, off, nothing's prepared, and I'll be troubleshooting as I go. If something is too absolutely boring while I'm recording it, I'm going to just edit it a bit afterwards, but I'll try to do as few edits as possible. And for this session, I will do a little bit of graphical user interface, but for the most part, this video series is going to be recorded in ASCII Nima, which is like a terminal recording application. So just to get started, we'll do a little bit of GUI things. So let's dive in. We are starting from absolute zero. So that means that I haven't prepared anything. I don't have anything created already. And I'm going to go to my Nix folder here, and I'm going to make a new directory called... I was thinking of calling it... what was I going to call it? NixMyWindows, something like that, which is a little jokey, but so the first part of this, and I should have said I will also use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever is to hand liberally throughout this, so don't expect me to be solving every part of the process by hand. I will be trying to more show how you can use good prompt engineering to get good outputs from these tools. So that's this is the beginning, and my first objective today is very simple: is to make a flake, which is a NixOS set of instructions, basically, which defines a very, very, very minimal bootable Linux machine. I don't even know if I'll get as far as booting it. I might just be creating some other project structures today. But my first goal within this series will be to get a Nix-based Linux installation that is bootable. I'll probably test it in a VM while I'm working on it. It's bootable and kind of comes up to single user command line prompt. But I'll have a few criteria, and one of those is that everything I add to the system must be carefully researched, planned, and documented, and customized and themed, so that there should be nothing on the system that I didn't intentionally put there. And the second one is that I'll use encryption and ZFS as the base for the file operating system. So for the file system on my operating system, so that everything is encrypted and secure by default. And then I'm going to be trying to find terminal applications to do every part of like a daily productive, maybe slightly niche user's day. So like email applications or web browsers or whatever, everything will be done as terminal applications, so that you can run the whole system without any graphical user interface. So yeah, enjoy the few bits of graphical user interface here while they last, because they're not going to be an ongoing feature of this video series. So I'm going to start off by just writing a little text file, which is going to be let's call it requirements, and I'll put it as markdown like this. And so I'm just going to put out some basic requirements. Let's call this NixMyWindows, and then a pure based I hope you will all join me in this process. So I'm going to put my name here, but I hope that I will add other people's names. So I'll put at the bottom like this. Okay, and let's just give this like a heading here. Okay. Sorry, my NixOS has my Vim, near Vim has some outstanding technical debt to deal with, but I'm not worried about that for now. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to first describe what I'm going to be building. So based on NixOS. All right, and so what I will do is I will try to keep a charter of the features, and as I work on each episode, I will try to like extend the list so that eventually this is a living document with all the different features. So feature 1 is going to be that it is based on Nix, which means that we're aiming for a repeatable installation setup, and that you can actually run this yourself and get the same setup that I have if you use my Flake and Flakes. Let's say Nix Flakes. And then the second feature is that it uses ZFS as with encryption. File system. The third feature is that it's going to be, I think, probably, let's say terminal only, no Wayland or X11. Oh. AI is being too smart here. Okay. And then I'm going to, as we do each episode, I will add more things to this list. So, for example, when we decide we want to have a bash shell or a fish shell, then we will go through together, setting up the fish shell, pimping it out, making it as beautiful as we can, and then add it to this list. And so each time we add something into the system, the idea is that we'll add another line into our features list here, and then have a video recording exactly how we set that up. And we'll try to make everything consistent with each other, so color schemes and key bindings and whatever as much as we can to try to make it all consistent. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of Claude, and I'm going to ask it to turn this into a Git repo first of all. I'm going to tell it that I would like a .github folder with readme.md and okay, and then I'm also going to ask it to maintain a log of every instruction that I've given it in a file called prompt.log, so that we can actually retrace all the different prompts I did. Oh my god, my typing. Okay, and then I'm also going to ask it to make the Git, since it's going to be published to Git, I'm going to ask it to put all the niceties of a very nicely organized Git repository. I should say GitHub repository. Um, and then I'm also going to ask it to actually push this to my GitHub account and also set up my GitHub client to work nicely with it. NixMyWindows. And then lastly, I'm going to tell it to leave Claude hints and directives to make future sessions with Claude consistent. Okay, so I'm going to let that loose on Claude and see what it comes up with. It's going to take a little bit of time, so maybe we'll cut away while it's busy with that, or we can just watch it generating stuff. All right, I'm also going to be doing a lot of like auto-accepting prompts, because I don't want to spend too much time tracking away enter as I go. My intention is not really to make this about AI, but to make it about um, a, an amazing terminal user experience. And so AI is just a vehicle to get to that end goal. So if you think I can do things better with AI, I'd love to hear it, but I'm more interested to hear about your opinions of how to set up the perfect experience using only terminal applications. And I should say that besides having the underlying Nix operating system, really everything I do should be transferable to any other Linux environments. If you prefer Fedora or Ubuntu or something else, you should be able to replicate the same thing that I do more or less. And my goal is more to explore the world of terminal user applications, like the first computers that I used, which had no graphical user interfaces, and sort of be a little bit nostalgic about those times when we actually had very functional and interesting and engaging computers without even having a Windows environment. I think while it's vibe coding away, I might go and get some AI generated artwork to use for my project as well. I think I'd like a color scheme and some kind of like visual materials. I did generate something for another one of my pet projects, which I was thinking maybe I could use it for this. So if we have a look, yeah, it's these Ntombi ones here. These ones do have a nice view. So, yeah, so I generated these from using or some AI tool, and try to like create a character which is reminiscent of Ndebele maiden, who had some kind of like superpowers or something. But I think it makes a really nice mascot, and I think I like the color scheme, and so it's a red, yellow, and green with a bit of orange and her brown skin, and use that as kind of like the mascot for what I'm going to make. So I'm going to just like chop that out a bit. One of these. It's actually like a frame, an animation frame set, but I will chop that out and kind of like just store it in my project for now. And let's call it logo.png for now. Probably we should put it inside of our assets folder here. Okay, it sounds like Claude is wanting my attention, so I'll close up with that. And let's go back to Claude. So again, I'm just going to let it do its thing here. Okay, I need to come back and add the prompt log into the project. I'm just pretty much taking all the defaults I see. It's made it as MIT license. I think I'm fine with that. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of like take its best suggestions unless I really disagree with something. I'm being a little bit less generous with the permissions I give it for GitHub commands. Just because it has potential destructive powers. Okay, so this is really the basis for episode 1, is just to get our project set up. We don't actually have anything useful in here, but we've got kind of like the first seed of the beginnings of our project. In the next session, I'm going to make the initial mix flake and try to get to the point where we can boot it as a virtual machine just with with an encrypted disk and command prompt, I guess. Yeah. Okay, we're still getting some magic made for us here. It's all stuff that I wouldn't think to go and do myself if I was creating a new project, which is really grateful to have Claude just go and take care of all these little details for us. Okay. I'm just going to give it a few more instructions. Okay, so we're going to just like enumerate which kind of files we're going to work with. So we're going to have Nix files. And then we're going to have Bash probably. We're going to have Markdown. We'll probably have some HTML and CSS. And maybe a bit of Python. And maybe a bit of Go even, yeah. So we'll just put all those in there and then let it get our QA things sorted out for us. What do we call that again? All right, so we're going to just like get some visual styling going on that as well. I'll also ask you to extract the color palette from that. Okay, so there I'm setting it up to just give me a nice, visual guide, style guide for anything that I create on the project. So all these things are very nice to do, like way up front. So then the whole project's kind of got like a framework to it. Let's go back to here and have a look what we've got so far. So so I was expecting these to be put down into the .github folder just to keep everything nice and tidy here. So I think I'll ask it to move all these markdown programs down, files down into the GitHub folder. There's all our badges and nice things there. So what we do want to keep is this requirements one. I think we'll keep this up in the top level. That's going to be our like working guide as we go through the whole project creation process. All right, so okay, let me just get those organized a bit. And we can sort of keep watching what it does over here. It's pushing a bunch of changes, which is great. All right. Still curious to see what it's done in terms of making a brand guide. There's our brand guide there. So we've got all our colors. It's chosen Ubuntu for the font. I'm not too mad about that because it's, when I said African, it kind of took that literally and thought Ubuntu is an African font, but I don't think it's really very reminiscent of an African feel. So I think we'll try for a different font. I like this design language they're using here. Okay, I don't think it's made any like graphical assets from that. Let's have a look here. That's just our same logo. So we're going to come back and take a look at that just now. Let's see if it's stuck. I should be doing a git move rather than just a bash move. I was too slow to catch that. Yeah, I'm sure it will make a delete and add commit. Let's go and see if it's already made something in. Let's see. All right, there's our project coming along. Just let it finish getting that into version control as well. Okay, and it's going to do another push. Okay, there's always one more thing you can ask it to do. I think once this goes through, I'm going to wrap up. So let's have a look and see if it manages to do the push. It still hasn't got everything moved into the .github folder yet. I'm going to just round off the session by asking it to again just double check that every prompt has been written into the log file. And there, if you want to create your own project, you could take my set of prompts I've given there, just make a few tweaks, and then you'll have a nice starting GitHub project. There we go. Okay, let's have a look and see how that comes through. updated anything here? Okay, that's already looking a bit tidier. Still need to get that transparent background sorted out. There's nothing that really explains what the project does yet, but anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, so that's it for this round. Hope you enjoyed episode 1. It's probably one of the less exciting parts because it's just the mechanics of getting your GitHub project set up. But maybe some of you who haven't set up a GitHub project before will find this useful, especially if you're using a bit of AI and you're trying to figure out how to get it to, what to prompt it to get a nice looking Git repository. Maybe this will give you some starting points. And of course, I'm no expert, or not the final boss in the chain of experts on how to do this. And I would love to hear from others out there who can do it better. And maybe just send me a patch to my prompt.log would be the best, because then I can use that the next time I'm building something to give it better prompt. All right, so thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.